Hi, everyone. Welcome to the June meeting, the last PTA meeting for this school year. We're gonna start from approval of the minutes. Can you, Stanford, can you actually just pull out the minutes? Because I didn't include a link when I send out the invitation. So can we just go through really fast? And if any changes, edits, just speak out. And then we can approve the minute. Okay, any edits, changes? Can we have a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve.
Okay, thank you. So we approve May's meeting minutes, and then next is the principal report. Principal Gusman.
Good evening. I can't stay very long, so I'm going to give my report and then I might have to leave somewhere.
Okay, no problem.
So it's summer. We are running our summer hub. It started this past Monday, goes till July 2nd. This was for the students who needed a little bit extra help because of the pandemic. So we're able to put that together sort of at the last minute. So that's been good. The campus is a little bit live for at least half the day. Next school year, I'm working on sending something out, but just to give everybody a heads up. We're looking at probably coming back to the same type of schedule, the staggered schedule. Mask on because the little ones haven't been vaccinated yet. The biggest change will be in distance learning. So because the focus is going to be on in-person instruction, teachers are not going to be able to do the hybrid approach as they did this school year. Their focus will be totally in the classroom. So whoever chooses to do distance learning, it's going to be not with Excelis. It's another program called K-12 Learning Solutions, and some of the families used it. In the fourth quarter, I gave them the option to either stay with Excelis and finish out or go to K-12. K-12 is a little bit more robust, and it also requires that they call it a caring adult be there to assist the student. So there was a couple of people who started the K-12 and it proved a little overwhelming and they switched back to Excelis. So there will be a period of time in which people can take a look at that. So I'm hoping to send this information out next week and then looking to sort of get responses back by July 9th, just so I can put the classes together. So, because I don't want to have one class that's a bunch of distance learners have exited and that one's a little bit small and the other ones are bigger. So I want to get that information out as quick as possible because everybody's anxious to see whose class they're in. So that's one roadblock that I need to overcome. So in there, I kind of wrote, you know, we don't recommend lessons learned from this year. We don't recommend distance learning for really for K through 2. We barely recommend it for 3, 4, and 5, but definitely not for K through 2. We're not, you know, if you don't have that caring adult at home who, and it can't unfortunately be just grandma who's babysitting, they got to be involved and really helping. Yeah. And then unmotivated students. Students are just, you know, they don't want to come to school, and so they choose that option. That's not really the purpose of what that's all about. So all that information will go out. So I'm putting together the new handbook for next year, and that's in there. It's got all the forms to be able to sign up. If people do not want to return in person, which most people did, we had about 90% of students come back in the 4th quarter. But if they don't want to come back and they don't want to do K-12, then the only solution then at that point is for people to homeschool. And then if you homeschool, you don't get anything from the school because you are basically exiting the public school system and you have to do everything on your own. So people are going to have to really kind of figure out what they do. My guess is going to be that most people will choose just to come back to school, which would be great. So, any questions on that? I'm sure I'll get some after I put the stuff out next week. Okay. And then the last thing is just in association with that and preparing for next school year, for some reason, and it's not just us, it's a bunch of schools in Honolulu. We've all kind of noticed that kindergarten registrations have been lagging for in-district. So if anybody knows people who have kids who are in district and are intending to come to Noelani, we would appreciate if they came to the office and registered, because then what happens is we need to reach a certain enrollment number every year that's projected for us. And if we don't, then they take money away from us. If we're over, they give us money. But what happens is then I try to fill the gap with geographic exceptions. And I'd rather not have more geographic exceptions than in-district kids. So, and I don't want to rush at the end and I take too many GEs and then the classes are big. So it's kind of this little game that we played during the summer and trying to anticipate. People in Manoa, for some reason, always register late. I don't know if they're waiting for they're on the wait list for private school or something, but they should register anyway. And then if they get in, then they can always exit. It's not a big deal. So if we can, spread the word that if you have any kids out there that need to register, not only for kindergarten, for any grade, that if they can come into the office and take care of that. Just in case I'm not here and I gotta dip out, just in terms of, I was looking at the budget, there was just one question that I had for the donations from A and B for trees and for safety equipment. It says remove. I'm not sure why it says remove, but I would appreciate if those things stay in there. If it's just removed from this list to see it, but the money's still there, then that's fine. But I was gonna, as we got the Idea Center now built, I was gonna buy trees for this year to kind of fulfill our promise to, or our intention anyway, to do right by the environmentalists who had issues with us taking out trees, even though we've already have more than enough trees put in. We still have money and we wanted to put in a little bit more. And then the safety equipment, I was going to use that up last year, but for whatever reason, with everything going on, I just totally forgot about it. This kind of reminded me, but we got to start doing all of our safety, full-on safety drills and stuff. And I think I need to buy some handheld stop signs and things, and that's the money I was counting on. So if that can kind of stay, then I would appreciate it. Other than that, any questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Principal Guzman. And next is Church's report.
Hey,
Jen?
Maria.
Hi.
Hi. Hey, Stanford, can you pull up the document for me?
Which one would you like first?
Yep,
This one.
we can do that one, the
Okay.
treasurer's report. Thank you. So these are our transactions for the month of May. And you can see the income there. So we got quite a bit in for the staff appreciation. It doesn't have a line item, so I actually put it under other donations. And then the large negative is the check I cut for the 5th grade gift. So the deposits were made in June, so that'll be reflected in next month's report. And then you can see the bulk of the expenditures are for staff appreciation as well. Yep, and then the account balances as of the end of month, you'd see a total of 234,795. Okay, and then the next document is just the budget through May. And it just reflects all of the May transactions that we went through. Any questions for me?
Jen, are we gonna close the book at the end of this month? Do you anticipate anything else to change after this?
I don't think so. I think there's just a couple of graduation things that I need to cut checks for, but I can get that done this month. Yep, so we can close it at end of June.
Mhm.
That sounds good.
Okay. Thank you. Any
Thank
other
you.
questions? Okay, if not, then we can move on to the budget. Stanford, can you pull out the budget? And then, sorry about that. And can you actually make edits if there are any changes so that we can have a finalized version?
Yep, I can do.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so this is the proposed budget for the upcoming school year. And we sent it out for review by the committee chairs, and we did get some feedback. So thanks, Danny and Lisa, for doing that. How do you want to do this, Maria? Do you want to just go line by line, or maybe just by the headers?
Yeah, so by the headers and craft fair, because Danny made changes. So Danny, can you just give a quick brief what the changes are and what is the logic behind that? And then if everyone is okay, then we can move to the next change.
Okay, yeah, so, I think right now what we're planning for is we are targeting an in-person event of some limited capacity. And, scaling back a lot on the food and the rides and sort of the extraneous things, and just kind of refocusing on maybe the craft fair and the vendors at this time. That'll be an easier pivot if we have to change to virtual come November. So that's part of it. And then I think there's another component that we're gonna try to dive into, you know, just relooking at how we use the cafeteria to supplement and what all of that has turned into. Like, is it really worth the amount of work we're putting in, or are there other ways to kind of help generate income? You know, craft fair has become more of like an event. And so we don't have the space anymore for things like keiki rides and stuff anyway. So we are going to have to rethink how we want to pitch this event to vendors, and then how we want to socialize this, you know, really taking up on the social media end and try to pitch it as, you know, like it's still the kind of the kickoff to a craft fair season for a lot of these people. I sent out a Google form to see, you know, to try to get a feel for who would be interested. So I'm waiting to hear back. You know, I think at this point, it's super hard to say what's going to happen. You hope that the tier system gets better, you know, by November, but we're not counting on anything. So again, I think whatever we choose to do this year, we really are going to try to figure out, it has to work both ways, right? It has to work for in-person and online. And so it's scalable in that respect. I think a couple of things that we sort of added or consolidated to, like, I got rid of all the individual food things like coffee station, food, shave ice, that part, and the waffle dog. It just kind of consolidated into one line item called snack shop for now. I did try to add this thing, an idea of like an alumni tent or country store. So that's kind of a new thing for this year. It'll be more like our own Noelani booth, and then we'll sell things out of there, you know, and that will be sort of the profit, you know, or add to the profit kind of event, rather than all the food through the cafeteria and stuff like that. So it's just a different idea. Again, this is sort of a big target, but we're developing it now. So the expense will reflect kind of this change as well.
Okay, great, thank you. And I think it's good to be conservative. If we can open it up more and there's less restriction, it's always better to get more income. Okay, so the changes for craft fair is approved. And then we'll do a final voting for everything after we review all the changes. So next one is just name change. So because we don't usually always have haku right now. So there's a suggestion just to remove the haku, remove the word haku. So Stanford, would you like to make that change now? Okay, and then the fixed grade fundraising and gift. The suggestion is to combine it to one item and add the budget together. Is there any concerns about that?
Also, Maria, were we going to zero that out because it's a pass-through?
Yeah, but we don't always zero it out, right? Because
we
sometimes
don't.
they raise more and spend less. So there is a rollover. But we can actually, because when we spend it, we just put a negative income, right? Yeah, we can actually budget as zero.
Okay.
If there's a difference, then it's not significant anyway, right? Okay. So Stanford, would you like to just put as fifth grade fundraising? It's, remove the gift and then just put zero. Okay, thank you. Box top. Lisa replied in the email, right? You want to reflect to the actual number we received, about 200. So
yeah,
how
we
about
actually this year we got close to around like 280, but a lot of it I think was from people signing up for new accounts, which I don't know if we can count on that going forward, because once they sign up for an account, unless we keep having new people, so that's why it was listed as
Mhm.
1,000 previously, which I think is what we had the year before. But that was
Mhm.
before we changed to with the digital box tops. I think it's
Yeah.
been harder. So yeah.
Yeah, the digital just doesn't work really well. I mean, the procedure is quite easy once you get it, but you have to get the receipt. You have to do it right away. So
Yeah, and I think just
after
getting people to do the initial sign up of it, like just to, once you start doing it, it's not bad. But I think for people, it just seems in their head like, oh, you know. So yeah.
Okay, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
And then the school t-shirt. Oh, Jen, you checked the income. We only have 50 this year.
There was another 80 in May, so 130 total.
Oh, really? Okay. That's
We have a credit with the t-shirt printer. I'm looking it up. But I held off on cashing that out until we decided if we were going to print for next school year. We took the school year off of the design with the intention of allowing families to keep last year's t-shirt, so not asking parents to purchase another one. And so I held the credit with the vendor, and if we wanted to print for like the kindergarten class or new students coming in, that's where we would pull it from. But I can have him just cut the check if that's what we want.
I think we can hold off on that, right? Because the pandemic and we don't have any events, so the kids and parents don't need to wear the school t-shirts. But if the restriction has loosened and we have field trip coming up, then they were required to wear a school t-shirt. So maybe this coming year they'll start buying those t-shirts. But since we don't have a year on it, and we can keep selling those t-shirts.
We can save the design and change the color if that's
Okay.
what you wanted to do for this new school year or upcoming school years.
So have we? Oh, we haven't printed any.
We didn't.
Okay.
I didn't print additional ones since the first order in the fall.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
there was a question, but we do have inventory in the office, but it's very limited, along with the
Oh.
face mask. There are a couple more. So I
Okay.
think what Jen has there might be the check that was from a recent purchase. The office contacted to see if we had additional, and what we had was just what was in the office.
Got it.
We didn't plan on doing a second printing this school year or this past school year.
Got it. Okay. So shall we keep at 6,500? Assuming that the people will going back and to the campus and keep buying those t-shirts.
We can. I mean, we can restock it, for new families, or we can offer another round of printing with the same color as last year, so that returning students can keep their existing shirts and just order if they outgrew it. And then for the new students joining the student body, then they can purchase. But just to alleviate the extra expense on parents, I think that was the intention when we agreed to remove the school year from the design.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna leave it at 6,500. Yeah. Okay, so the student enrichment program pre-COVID is that one. Yeah, 4,000. I think that's reasonable.
Actually, Maria, if you look at the
Yeah.
notes, the pre-COVID was, I see
pre-COVID
what you're
is-
saying. Pre-COVID was about 10,000,
Right.
but I don't know if the school will have enrichment classes.
Yeah. So where does the 4,000 come from? Was it the same as last year? And we
I think
reduced it?
that's this. Yeah, that might be on this. That might be this year's budget, 4,000.
Oh, okay, got it. So should we keep it at 4,000 to be conservative?
Yeah, I think that's okay.
Sounds good. So Stanford, can you scroll down? And we'll see the next change.
Oh, you know, one thing I just noticed,
Yeah.
just because I got an email from Amazon, was the Amazon Smile. Is there a, who gets the
Yeah,
check
the
for
Amazon
that?
Smart should be included in the donation.
It's just in the other donations.
Yeah.
Other donations?
Mhm.
Oh, it is 25.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Just one more thing on the top where the Give Aloha and the Foodland, that's the same thing, right?
All right.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Because that's part of the membership, because I'm taking over membership. So I met with Ryan, and I think the Foodland line item and the Give Aloha, that's the same thing.
I think it's the same fundraiser, but we get 2 different checks.
mhm.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Right.
Forget-
One
I-
is the
forgot what
donation.
Yeah,
from-
we have to register next month, and then the campaign starts off in September. So I'll complete the registration for us for next month, but it starts up soon.
Okay, great, thank you, Lauralee. Yeah, so we'll keep that as is. I think because they give us 2 check, so we put them into different line items. Okay, so the expenses, so craft fair. Okay, I think it's just reflects the income changes, right? Okay, and then the next changes. Oh, for Mayfair. Yeah, dunking, we don't have that anymore, right? Is Mika here today? Probably not. Okay.
I think the last one, they had some water activity where they, I don't know if Mr. Higa had set up the balloon at the screen mesh.
Mm,
I'm not sure if they charged for that though. I know it was very popular, and I'm guessing they were charging.
mhm.
That might have taken the place of the dunking booth.
Maybe that can just go under Keiki Games or,
Mhm.
yeah, it probably doesn't need its own line.
Right.
Okay, so you want to remove it, Stanford? Well, usually the chair review and make the changes, right? Well, since we don't have a chair. Okay. Yeah, we don't pay the custodian in Mayfair, so we can remove that one as well.
Okay, for
Okay,
these,
website, yeah.
oh no, sorry. Yeah, I think that website one was just to have it say website/social media.
Oh, okay.
And then under the school admin support, I was just going to check on the amounts for the previous school year. So those amounts are listed in the column to the right. So we have 0 for after school tech and study hall. We had almost 15,000 for music, almost 15,000 for PE, and then 0 staff discretionary checks were 7150, and then 0 for technology.
Yeah, I think that's the COVID, right? Because we don't have those expenses. So I think we should keep as is in case the school need it next school year.
Okay, do you want to increase the staff discretionary to match what we paid this, I think it was, gosh, is that last year or this year? Hold on. Let me look at what we paid this year. Yes. Oh yeah, it was 71.50. Yeah, 71.50.
Okay. Yeah, so we should match that then, right?
Okay.
How about the classroom music and PE? Should we reflect the higher amount?
Yeah, we can. That one is see below for 20. So that one was actually for this year.
Okay, so should I make those to 15,000 each?
Yeah, because we spent close to 50,000 right this year.
Yeah, I don't think we had music this year, but look at our budget. Hold on, Kenzo. Oh yeah, we did pay music. Sorry. Yeah, music was 15,000. But I didn't pay PE or technology at all.
Okay, and then the school projects is the ideal center and curtains. So we're gonna keep the trees and safety equipment.
Do we want to keep the trees at 1508? I don't know why we have that value.
I think when your AMB donated a certain amount, and that was a specific amount, but we didn't use it. So that's why it was budget like that.
Okay.
Well, we can
How did
round
we-
it up because it's now we don't have a specific amount.
Okay. So you want to make it just 1,500 even?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I think the only other change is the next one is the 5th grade Aulani. We were just going to take I don't know, rename it because it might not necessarily be Aulani. I don't know if we just want to call it 5th grade trip or something. And then I was supposed to look at the amount from last school year, and it was 7,780. That was when we gave each student, I forgot if it was like $50 or $100.
That's
Or
for
refunded
Alani,
that.
right? For Alani.
Yep. Unless we just want to match the 4th grade amount, because
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Although the 4th grade probably gonna go up this year.
4th and 5th, or
4th grade Big Island trip the expense gonna go up?
Is that because the fifth graders are going?
No, because I think, is it Mr. Fukushima was talking about, because the logistic, and all the social distancing and,
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah, the costs are gonna be more expensive. They didn't give us a specific number, so.
Okay, well, the year prior, they spent 4,800. So hopefully there's enough of a cushion there for them.
Okay, sounds good.
And then the last one, I think, is just the expenses on the student enrichment. So
okay.
when I looked, it was 11,000. But we reduced the income right just now to 4,000. So I don't know, do we want to just match that?
Yeah, because it's basically a pass through, right? Because PTA don't make money from it.
Well, remember recently we increased the teacher stipend to try and encourage classes,
Yeah,
and then we increased the student fee as well. So yeah, I guess
Right.
it's kind of a break even.
okay.
Did PTA cover the expenses of supplies for those classes?
Yes, we do.
So that might be the difference, like the added.
Mm,
expense.
mhm. Okay, well, I think we can,
Do we
I
leave
don't
it
know.
as is? Because 2019 we got 11,000, right?
Yeah, but we should match our income
Mhm.
more closely, right? Because we
so
have
4
4,000 on the income.
4,000 plus supplies, which would be
Just do 4,500 or something.
45, yeah, 3,500.
Okay. So is that all the changes?
Yep.
Okay. So any questions or concerns? Anything that need to be further edited? Or we can move into voting. Okay, so Stanford, I don't know if you have set up a voting
Yeah.
on the Zoom. Oh, you have, okay.
So when I bring up the poll, there's going to be 2 questions, but just answer the first one for the budget.
Okay,
And at the end of it, I guess I'll just freeze it. It's all anonymous, the voting, and Lorelei can take the final count and I can send her also.
awesome.
I don't think I can vote because I'm running the poll. So just count me as a approve. Okay, I'll bring it up now.
Okay. Do we click on the next or no?
Oh, Stanford, looks like you might have to do both in order to hit submit.
Oh,
Oh,
all right. You know what?
okay.
Let me
Okay, so
let
let me
me-
move on to the
let me
new
actually-
business and then we can,
I'll
do you want to?
edit the poll. I'll just edit it real quick.
Okay.
Uh,
I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm not an officer yet, and so I assume I'm not eligible to vote on the budget, certainly not for officers. I'm not sure what to do.
No, all the general members can vote.
Yeah, general members can vote.
Yeah, we don't have to be officers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, as
But
long
as-
as you're a member, you can vote.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Hmm.
Well, Stanford,
Alright.
we can go through the new business voting for the incoming officers and we
Okay.
can do it.
I got
Oh,
it.
you did? Okay, awesome. Thank you. Alrighty. Okay, so hopefully everyone finished their voting for the budget. And then
Yeah.
we'll move on to the new business, voting for incoming officers. So next year I won't be able to serve as the president. Daniel, step up. Thank you, Daniel. So Daniel, yeah, was gonna be the incoming president. Greg Goodale, did I pronounce the last name right? Yeah, okay. So Greg Goodale gonna be the incoming treasurer. Laura Lee has served her 2-year terms as secretary. The bylaw does state that we can only serve the officer can still stay in the same position for 2 years at most. So we do have a vacancy for secretary. So hopefully can fill that position up during the summer. Okay, so Stanford, pull out the voting for the incoming officers,
Okay. Let
and
me-
then all the members can vote.
I'm gonna stop the voting for the budget. I'm assuming the two that didn't vote are Luana and Kristen.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm gonna end the poll.
Yeah,
with
chicken
that.
out vote.
So I think it's 100% all ayes. And I'll bring up the next one. Okay.
Okay. So while everyone's finishing their voting for the incoming officers, we'll go through the committee report. The bylaw. Danny, do you have any super bylaws? So you want to cover at your next meeting?
I think I did make a couple of small edits, but it was mostly just trying to clean up the document. You know, there were a lot of committees that we don't have, or some that we actually do have that we don't have an, you know, a chair for, or things like that. So it's more of those matters. But I thought we could deal with that next month. And then I think I did reach out to, the state PTA group, you know, about the investment statement and how to add that to our bylaws. If we want to do this type of work and we want to add it, how do we do that? I think we do need to have something in there before we can do any kind of investment, or it would be prudent on our part to do so. So that's kind of a goal. I never heard back from the state, but I'll ping them again before the next meeting and try to get that thing resolved. Because I think all I want to know is, or make sure, was that it's okay, you know, for us to do this kind of investment as a nonprofit, provided we follow some, you know, some general prudent rules about nonprofit investment kind of thing. So as long as they had no
Right.
issue.
Right, and we want to make sure if they want us to have the bylaw approved by them before we do any investment,
Yes.
or we can do it simultaneously.
No, so I think once we add the investment statement to the bylaws, they have to approve it,
Oh,
is
okay.
what it sounds like. So they have to
Okay.
sign off on it, which is kind of why I wanted to get sort of their preview before we go down that path. Because if it's not in the wheelhouse of, you know, DOE PTA groups, then, you know, let's think of something else. I don't want to spin our wheels.
Yeah. So their approval, just I can take a while, because last time Cisco and you all reach out to them just to get a signature of our finalized bylaw. It took a couple months to get the
Yeah.
final signature. Yeah. And they called them, emailed them, like keep chasing at them. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. We actually never had audit this year. Is Elaine over here? Okay. Yeah, I think I emailed her, but never heard back. Okay. I'll follow up with her again then. Okay. So I think the next one, oh, Christine volunteer to do the new parent welcome if we have one next year. So, oh, she's already the chair, so okay, bingo. So Laura Lee gonna take over the membership, as she just mentioned. We just want to put in a minute to have a record. And then would you need nomination chair, which is quite important. Nomination is the committee who should nominate the officers, which we kind of did by the office this year. And okay, and we also need a webmaster. Okay, I think that's it. Does anyone have any other questions, comments? No? We're good? Okay, so here's how we're gonna do that, right? Once Laura Lee or Stanford, you have the results already, right? So then we'll follow up with an email and the final budget to all the executive boards, including all the chairs and incoming officers. And then we'll make it official. And also the same thing as the incoming officers. We'll announce the voting results, and then we'll do an official announcement through email. Yeah, because we usually do it in Mayfair, because we don't have Mayfair this year. So we're gonna do the same thing as last year, as what Eula has did. So we're gonna make the announcement by email. Sounds good. Okay, everyone have okay, that's the poll results. Okay. Wait, we have
I've already showed
0% of
zero.
everything.
Yeah, let me
Let's
bring
not
the
do
other
that, right?
ones. Wait, there was another one. Sorry. This one. There. That way everybody can
Oh,
see.
awesome. Okay.
Yay.
So let me stop on this one, and
And the
sorry, I was
second
learning how to
one.
do the polling. There we go. That way everyone
Oh,
can see.
yay.
what we're doing.
Okay,
Yay.
awesome. Yep. Thank you so much, Stanford.
But Maria, I wanted to say, thank you very much for leading us this past year. I know it has been very difficult for all of us, but especially you as a president and a mother with children in different schools. I can't imagine how you're able to navigate this entire year. So I do want to say thank you very much. It was an honor to serve as your vice president this past year. And I look forward to working with you for another few years, or maybe even longer, who knows? But,
Thank
I
you.
definitely
Thank you
do
very
want to
much.
thank you
Maria.
for providing us with a lot of leadership in very difficult times.
Thank you. It was my pleasure to work with all of you and in Noelani community to just to work with each other, hold hands each other to go through this tough year. Yeah, and I'm confident this new office can do very well. And hopefully we can find a secretary very soon, and then we don't have a vacancy. And because yeah, it's a very important critical role, and we need to have meeting minutes for every meeting.
Yes,
Yeah.
and Lori Lay, sorry, I do want to thank Lorelei and Jen as well, because for the past 2 years, they've been manning the show, coming to all the meetings as much as they could. I know Jen was a little bit busy helping Hawaii get vaccinated, which is way more important. But Lorelei, your minutes are always very helpful. I know we gloss over them because they're always so accurate, but I do appreciate you and all the comments you've always had. You've always had very good comments from before. When I first started the PTA, I really appreciated the expertise you provided. And Jen, I've been working with Jen and known Jen for a few years now with different organizations, and it was a pleasure working with you, Jen. So thank you very much, Lorelei and Jen. I know I will see you both, at the PTA at various meetings or whatever, but it was an honor to serve. And I welcome Danny and Craig to the Noelani PTA leadership. And I appreciate Danny for really stepping up and helping us in what's going to be another difficult year, even as craft fair chair. So it's going to be a challenge. And for Craig, I've known Craig also for a few years, and we look forward to working with Craig. So thank you very much for everyone for attending the meeting tonight, and we will see you next month, I guess, or even earlier.
Yeah. Have a great summer, everyone.
Thank
so
you.
much, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks, Priya.
Bye.
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 Bye.